Coach, you talked a lot about this team believing about midway through the season. I know you wanted these guys to enjoy the other night, but can you speak to what has transpired since the celebration until the reality of what's next?
Well, I mean, not a lot has transpired really. We just practiced this morning for the first time, and you know, I think it doesn't matter when you take a day off. The next time you practice is a little bit of a shock, you know, and so we're just trying to get the guys ready to win the next basketball game, and so, you know, we talked about early in the year, you play how you view yourself. And so the question is, I mean, obviously whoever we play next is going to be a tremendous basketball team. But, you know, do we view ourselves as beating that team? Because if we don't, then we'll play that way. And so it's just very important that you view yourself in a way that you know you can win. And, you know, we know that every team we're going to play now is going to be a great team. But I also told our guys they're also going to play a great team. And so that's, you know, that's the way we have to view it.
Cleanliness is next to godliness, boys, so let's not be too hard. To piggyback on that, though, Coach, do you build off, I mean, obviously build off that, but do you have to bring the guys down a little bit, or do you want to ride that wave of emotion? It's going to be a week or so before you play, so I don't know how much you can ride the emotion from that.
Yeah, no, we've already tried to bring them back down, and you know, I got after them a little bit in practice this morning just to get them going again, and so it's back to normal. It just has to be back to normal. There's going to be enough that's abnormal about this that when we get in practice and we do the other things, it has to be normal.
Grant, what does this mean, obviously, to you? I mean, just everything you've been through at this university and what you've gone through to get to this point. I can't imagine anyone feels any more excited about this than you.
Yeah, Trey Stacy and I, we the two seniors, we feel it the most, and we love it. We're embracing it. Couldn't have scripted any better. I'm happy we're here, and I'm glad we played so well in that tournament. So it's a really good feeling.
When you are going to be an underdog, no matter what, whatever happens, Selection Sunday, people are going to, you know, say, well, what, you know, a lot of people never even heard of Wright State up until this week. How much does that put a chip on your shoulder? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, it's different because NKU lost early, so we were the favorite in the Motor City Madness, and now it's the exact opposite. Everyone's probably counting us out, so you just got to wear it, embrace it, and it'll make us tougher because I know the guys in the locker room, there's no quitting them.
Coach talked about bringing you guys down a little bit, trying to get you even keeled. As a player, probably easier said than done.
Yeah, you know, everyone's telling you congrats, how great we are, and you know, you just got to do it yourself. You got to humble yourself. You get back in the gym on your own and put in sweat equity. That's all it is. And you know, if you get in the gym, you kind of humble yourself because not every shot goes in, and you find your weaknesses.
Loud, you're at the other end of the spectrum. I mean, Grant's been here and had this career and gets to end it with this. What does this mean to you? You've had a freshman year unlike any other here at Wright State. To get to this point and to win that championship this week, what does it mean to you?
I mean, as great as a feeling it has to be for Benz to end a career on it, I think it might be just as good to start one on it. I mean, we're still kind of young without Benz and Trey. All the other guys, juniors, do have a lot of leadership in them, but even I think everyone has a long way to go, and we're still working on it. But it's a great start.
You talked about everybody patting you guys on the back. What was it like when you walked into class Wednesday?
I sit in the back of class, so I walked in and sat down, tried not to draw too much attention. But
You're supposed to sit in front of the class.
You better get him. People still were turning around and congratulating me, so it's a great feeling on campus because you know, it's a whole community that's a part of it.
What time did you guys get back to campus Tuesday night?
2:45.
Was anybody waiting for you?
No.
Coach, when you look at, I mean, right now is all about the team, but with your assistants, there's scouting with all the tournaments and everything. Do you look at specific teams to kind of keep an eye on as who you might be playing?
No, not right now. There'll be enough information on Sunday, and we don't give our guys a lot of that information till probably 2 or 3 days before the game, and so, you know, once we find out on Sunday, we'll know. But you know, I can guarantee you that our assistant coaches probably are still already working on it and getting ready for it.
What is that process like when you do find out who you're playing? Do you guys watch film of that? Do the coaches watch film of that team together? Or do you know, one guy takes set plays, one guy takes offense, one guy takes defense, and just hold up the office?
Well, you know, what'll happen is we'll obviously have that little pod there, and so one of our coaches will take the team that we're playing next, and then the other coach has to get ready for the other two teams, because that's how we'll prepare. And so there's a lot of film to watch between the three teams that you could possibly play. And you know, I mean, the players know. The players know how much time our assistant coaches put into getting them ready and preparing it, and then not only, you know, getting all the information, but breaking it down enough where we're not giving them too much, but we're giving them the information we think they need.
Is there a major database of
Yes.
film available
Yeah,
for you
yeah,
guys?
there is.
Okay.
There is. It's called Synergy, and I mean, you can get every game of every team you play in a heartbeat. So yeah, and they can do the same for our team.
Mark, Coach was talking about this team believing mid-season. What, as a player, when did you guys feel that, you know, especially after a kind of a rough start, when did it all click in, and what happened? Was there a turning point? Was there a certain game, a certain moment? What was it for you where you said, you know what, we got a chance this year?
I feel like that Georgia Tech game, it was a Power 5 win. We just came in expecting to win, honestly, and when we did it, everybody was like shocked about us upsetting them, but at the same time, like, we expected to win, and that's really when it just started clicking for us. We knew that we had what it take to win this whole thing, and you could just see it in the locker room, on the court, how we play with each other. We just know that we got what it take to win, and that's all really what we care about.
Mark, what's your earliest NCAA tournament memory? What's the first time you remember watching it?
I would probably say I used to make brackets in like 7th and 8th grade, just picking like all the top seeds to win, stuff like that. I wasn't really like too into it, but I would probably say then is when I started that bracketology stuff.
Is there one play that you think of as kind of, you know, the highlight? I know Grant the other night mentioned the Bryce Drew shot 20 years ago. The one that stands out in your mind?
Honestly, I don't really have a one that stands out to me, really.
What about you, Lau? Do you have a first memory of the tournament?
No, like Russ said, probably end middle school, early high school, probably freshman year, I started watching it more. It was on during lunch, stuff like that, and filling out brackets. But I don't really have a specific memory. I mean, they all have the magic moment, or that one magic moment, and you watch that, and I mean, they're all special. So.
Grant talked about watching one shining moment every year. Did you guys do that too?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've seen it a bunch of times, really.
Are you allowed to stay up and watch it, or will you DVR and watch it the next day? When you were, I'm going to talk when you were.
Yeah, when I was younger, my parents let me stay up. They know like I took basketball very serious, like at a young age. So when I used to watch the games when I was younger, my mom and dad would be right there with me. So they let me do my thing, really.
Grant, when you look at when you started in this program and where you've gotten to now, do you feel like, okay, you're helping reset a foundation here? Do you feel like, what a great way to go out? Do you ever take time to think about that?
No, because when I walked in, I was coming into a great program already. A.J. Packer, Matt Vest, Cole Darling, they already built something, and it was special. And our freshman year was just, I mean, it was a disaster with injuries and young guys playing. I was playing the 5 in some games, so it was a bit ridiculous. And then coach came in, and the different but still the same intensity and same emphasis on defense. And now I think we're rebuilt, and I mean, you see our young guys and the returners next year. They'll be good for a couple years to keep their heads on straight. Yeah.
Coach, not really what you think you'll be seated as, but do you ever think, you know this team inside out, well, maybe this team deserves to be seated? Do you think, you know, we've earned whatever, this, that, or the other in the NCAA?
Yeah, I guess I don't. It's, you know, it's been one way for so long, and, you know, teams at our level, you know, unless you just go and play an unbelievable non-conference schedule, which, quite honestly, when you get better and when you get to the level that we are now, it's difficult to do because a lot of those teams don't want to play you, and they're certainly not going to come here and play us. And so it's not easy to put a schedule together that would allow us, you know, to be, you know, anything than a lower seed right now. But you know, that's we want to be able to build that schedule. We want to be able to put ourselves in a place where you can get a better seed, because it's pretty important. I mean, if you're going to advance, I mean, those things are really important.
Is there a way to quantify what this means in terms of exposure for the school, an advantage in recruiting?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to quantify it, and I mean, honestly, you know, why is it that when teams do well in sports, it's you know, it's good for the university? I mean, for whatever reason, people are interested in sports, whether that's right or wrong. That's just the way that it is, and it does help the university. There's probably no way to quantify the exposure that the university gets, the branding. You know, when people see, you know, our logo and those kind of things. I mean, there's no way for the university to get that kind of exposure, and so there's no question it's good for the university and it's good publicity.
Is it something you bring up, I would assume, in recruiting?
Oh, yeah, I mean, most of the people we're recruiting are going to know that anyway, but yeah, I mean, people want to play for, you know, they want to be able to win and play for good teams, and it's very important for recruiting.
Mark, going back to the question about class, did you get any kind of reaction when you walked in?
Yeah, so I had class at like 10 or something like that, and it was like we just got back from break, so like, honestly, not a lot of people there, but really everyone came up to me, just like pat me on the back, telling me like congrats and stuff. I was like walking in with the teacher, and she was telling me about the last time we won championship, 2007, how great it was for the campus, and like just all the publicity that we got, and just told me that I was doing a good job. So it was pretty nice.
So you get back here at 2:45 a.m., classes at 10. What time did you get to sleep? I mean, were you so wound up in the bus ride?
Yeah, these guys, we got back to the apartment and they put the game on. They rewatched the game. I knew I had class, so I couldn't stay up. So I went to sleep about 3:15, something like that. But some of them, they stayed up. They watched the whole game again. So I don't know what time they got to bed, but I had class. So.
Did you guys watch SportsCenter at all that night or the next morning?
My dad sent me a couple clips, the Ryan Custer ones, and it was really cool to see that on SportsCenter. It's huge, and we're thankful he was there with us.
Do you guys know, is he going to be able to go with you to wherever the first round is?
Yeah, he'll go. He and his family will go wherever we go.
So, Grant, when the season is always next game and that sort of thing, behind the scenes or inside of you, were you always going, I know we can do this? I mean, I want to get to the NCAA. Was it in there? Was it, especially being a senior, you know, last chance at the dance?
Yeah, that was the main goal coming into this year. That was the only thing I wanted. I wanted it bad, and when we got to the tournament, on our scouting report, I just wrote like it's your destiny on every single one. Like I couldn't imagine not going. Even if we didn't, it doesn't define me as a man that I win or if I didn't win. But it's definitely something I'll hold for the rest of my life, and just glad we're doing it.
Anything else? All right, that's good. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Playing on Sunday, we have one.